The hero marches on. The martial arts world. Author, Joker. The story is about a legendary hero who saved the world, who is transported to a different world of martial arts, only to find himself surrounded by sexy, muscular women. Stories with erotic scenes are marked with a prologue, a shooting star, a single meteor. The girl wished for a world without conflict and with order. This is Bujutsumin Hakurenji Temple, a large temple surrounded by bamboo forests. Quote. The girl's name is Yurin, and she is a martial artist here. Tomorrow is the day I set off on my journey. I will travel the world, become stronger, and use that strength to save this world. With this wish in my heart, I look up at the night sky. Countless stars twinkled in the night sky. She was gazing at such a sight when. Quote. Ah, there was a strange shooting star. It was moving slowly, as if waiting for our wishes. She remembers the legend of the shooting star and clasps her hands together, praying in her heart, may I save the world. Joe seriously. Quote. When I opened my eyes, the shooting star was still there, not gone. What's more, it was charging towards the ground. Quote. It crashed into the bamboo forest somewhere. There was a tremendous impact sound, accompanied by a slight rumbling of the earth. This was her first experience and she was confused. What is it? It's already late at night, and it's almost time to go to bed, so going out is out of the question. Besides, there are rumors of some brutal bandits outside. Ye more why others. Quote. However, curiosity got the better of me. I put on my jacket and tried to go outside. Wait, however, she heard a voice calling out to her. When she turned around, she saw the master of Hakurenji Temple. Master, you go to bed now. I'll come and see what crashed tomorrow. Yes, there was nothing she could do after being told by her teacher. She went to bed with an indecisive look on her face. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. The hero descends. The man woke up. Quote. His name is Jet. He is an 18-year-old male. He has snow-white hair and a slim, compact body with strong muscles. And above all, he is a legendary hero who once saved his world. He died at that time, and due to certain circumstances, he was transferred to this world. See Jet's adventure. Hey, can you hear me? A voice echoes in his head. Oh yeah, I can hear you. He replied to the voice with a tired look on his face. The voice belonged to Alaya Vijnana, the being who had sent him here. He could be called the god of his world. It looks like the transfer was successful. Thank goodness. So, what are we going to do? What should we do? What's going on in this world? Questions started popping into my head one after another. I couldn't help but ask more and more questions. But this guy was kind. Yes, I'll explain it in order. First, to put it simply, you need to defeat the emperor who is at the center of this world. As for what you need to do, that's all I can really explain. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, then I'll do something about it. If that's the only explanation he can give, then there's nothing I can do. It's no use questioning him any further now. This world would have survived if humanity had somehow managed to survive the monster attacks during the East-West War without you guys. Hundreds of years have passed since your world. However, it seems like our technology is somewhat inferior to yours. Yibu no de yu de ha. Oh, but be careful. In the category of martial arts, their techniques are far beyond your imagination, most of them are girls. Teeth, he couldn't comprehend the meaning of that lie, so he said it, but he kept saying it without losing his seriousness. In this world, those who possess the fighting power to rival 1,000 men are called martial artists, and most of them are girls. Quote. Ah, I see. If this guy says so, then I have no choice but to believe that I have been transported to that kind of world. The world I was in was similar, but I guess it can't be helped, since it's a parallel world after all. I guess that's just how it is. Parallel worlds, but parallel worlds nonetheless. You have now landed in another world. From here on out, you'll have to figure things out on your own. Yeah, I get it. Got it. Then let's solve the safety causation. As soon as he said that, his clothes disappeared. What? Well, that's it. Wait. In my haste, I called out to him as if he were a big-name actor I often see on TV. What do you mean? What did I do? Well, I mean, I'll have to send them, and I'll have to get the clothes and stuff locally. Jun-da-ke. No, this is not right. You'll get arrested for public indecency. What am I supposed to do? It's your job to think about that, isn't it? He said this in an annoyed voice. Yeah, it's a black company. This job is a black company. The kind of black company where the working environment is atrocious. Well, then, after I die. Quote. Now I'll probably never see him again until I die. Yep, this is also a black boss. He's the type of black boss who dumps work on his subordinates and goes home early. This is a legendary black boss that even Go Hollow Circle Black would be surprised by. Chow Supermarket. Quote. What should we do? He casually said something incomprehensible about safety karma. He'll probably say something like he made the world move in a way that would keep me safe, or some other incomprehensible explanation. If he can do such amazing things, he should just save the world. Anyway, he looked around. Quote. Bamboo forest stretches as far as the eye can see. Not even a shadow of a building can be seen. Oh no, I'm lost right away. Seriously, why does it have to be so hard from the start? Quote. Anyway, let's move on. Shuanglu Sugoroku because, whether things go badly or well, if you don't move forward, there's no point. I don't want to end up in such a boring situation, so I'm going to move forward. Quote. His well-trained bare feet were not affected by the leaves and pebbles that would have impeded his walking, and they were not even scratched. Thanks to this, he was able to move forward without any difficulty, even though he was completely naked. Quote. Suddenly, out of nowhere, I hear footsteps, which seem to be heading straight this way. Quote. What? He covered his crotch with his hands and prepared himself, and as if in response, 3 men appeared before him. All 3 appeared to be bandits. Well, that's not it. There were a number of reasons for this. He desperately tried to explain, but, what? Why is the boy naked? Irrelevant. Tokaku killing. Careless entry into my territory. No money. Kill. Hurry. Teeth. They spoke in an incomprehensible language and pulled out swords and spears. Ha, wait a minute. Ha, say it again. What? I mean, am I in trouble right now? I still don't understand what they're saying, but still, I understand. These guys clearly have murderous intent directed at me. Death. Quote. TCH, I guess I have no choice. Throwing aside his shame, he raised his fist. The fighting power of the 3 was far inferior to ours. However, they were still directing their murderous intent at us and were seriously trying to kill us. Then, breaking, one of the men swung his sword down. Quote. I dodged it and pierced his stomach with my fist. It wasn't a metaphor, I really did pierce a human body with my fist. Quote. Quote. You came here prepared to be killed, right? Don't complain. He pulls his arm out of his stomach and shakes it to remove the blood. What? A monster boy? No, a martial artist. Shish. He kicked the other man in the head, smashing his head into pieces while leaving his body intact. Terrifying. Quote. He shot an energy bullet at the last man trying to escape, blowing him up. The 3 who attacked the merciless hero lost their lives in the face of his icy, cold-blooded power. Quote. Oh, I have some clothes. He stripped the man of his relatively clean clothes as a trophy, and the roles of bandit and boy had already been reversed. Phew, a black tank top, a fur jacket, and simple pants. And a sword. It smelled a bit sweaty, but it was better than nothing. Well, shall we go? He started walking again. Quote. Quote. He senses someone's presence and hides. Looking, he saw 2 women. One was a young girl who had fallen on her bottom, and the other was a woman who was standing there dignified and gazing at her. Around them, the bandit-like men from before had been brutally murdered. It's a space where time seems to stand still, and it gives the illusion that a single scene has been cut out and pasted into the space. It felt like I was witnessing the moment when my destiny met. While my eyes were captivated by such a sight. Quote. 1 person later, come clean up. The woman stood there with a dignified expression as she spoke, looking my way. The moment our eyes met, I felt an intimidation that seemed to pierce my heart. Quote. Quote. At the same time I felt it, she was already behind me. Ha, wah, the next moment, he was kicked hard in the back, sending him flying into the air. Without a moment's hesitation, she followed him, leaping into the air. HMPH. Then, I give him a roundhouse kick in the back. Quote. Quote. The force entered his back and exited his stomach. It flew further into the air, tracing a parabola before hitting the ground. Quote. Amazing. Quote. Quote. The girl could only watch. The woman who had done everything stood next to her and exhaled. And no, Jet said, jumping up like a springboard. Quote. 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 For a normal man, this attack would have been deadly, but this man stood up as if he had just stubbed his little finger on the corner of a dresser. It's impossible, all the men around me have died this way. I don't even imagine that there could be any exceptions. What are you doing? If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead. Her eyes widened when she heard what he said. Old language. Hey, who are you? It was a familiar language, and hearing it relieved him, at the same time relaxing him. Oh, for the first time, I've met someone who speaks my language. That doesn't make sense. Wait, I have no intention of fighting. How dare you tell such a lie in that outfit? When she said that, I took another look at my outfit, and realized, in this outfit, I looked like a bandit. So they're going to deceive us with their words and then slam us in the back, that's the plan, right? Quote. Ah, you won't listen to me. The woman, completely confused, took a stance, a rigid martial arts stance. There's no choice but to fight back. Jet came to this world and was suddenly caught up in this battle. This is going to be a difficult road ahead, he muttered to himself as he set off to battle his first strong opponent in this world. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. 2 stories, an encounter. I want to go on a trip. Yurin tells her master. Quote. Why? He asked curiously while tending to his bonsai. He had never expected to hear such words from the girl, so it was only natural. I want to become even stronger. So I want to travel the world, become stronger, and make this world a place of order. Quote dot dot dot. I see. There was a single beautiful flower in the bonsai. That single flower was everything to this bonsai. If the pot were the earth, then that flower was the sun shining on the earth. It was something that had to be there. Looking at these things, he speaks with deep emotion. Quote dot dot dot. When you came here, that was 10 years ago. We took you in after you lost your parents. There are a lot of orphan children these days. It wasn't unusual, so we accepted you. Quote dot 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 quote. You have a talent for martial arts, and the potential to become a warrior. However, that scared me. I was afraid that one day you too would become a demon, devoted to power. So I only taught you the basics of martial arts, but now, the time has finally come. Feeling deeply moved, I exhale slowly. Quote dot dot dot. You really are going to hold on to that resolve, aren't you? I'm serious. Quote dot 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 quote. He laughed, and pruned the bonsai flowers. Quote dot dot dot. What a shame. He said just one word and gave a thumbs up. Quote dot 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 exclamation mark quote. The world is unforgiving. Do your best. His master's unwavering trust, to live up to that trust, and to restore order to this world. Okay, I'll be going. Yurin had set off on her journey. As I was leaving, I remembered what had crashed yesterday. What I thought was a shooting star must have crashed somewhere around here. What could it possibly be? Quote dot dot dot. But, there were rumors of bandits in the vicinity. They wouldn't raid the temple, but they would attack travelers who came through the area. As soon as I remembered that rumor. Hey, look at that. Oh, what a fine piece. It seems the bandits have spotted us. Quote dot 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 exclamation mark quote. Young lady, it's not safe to be alone in a place like this, okay. Hey, what an erotic body, it makes me want to attack you. Ingredient, the men were using vulgar language. I felt disgusted by it, but I got ready. Oh, you're a martial artist. Okay, take it. Yeah, he steps forward at maximum speed and delivers a straight punch to the filthy belly. Quote exclamation mark quote. His fist slams into his stomach, shaking him. I gave him a roundhouse kick and sent him flying. This one, the other bandit swings his fist down. He blocked it with his shoulder and delivered a heavy punch to the solar plexus. Gee, gah, so he fell too. He exhales and relaxes his stance, but the threat continues. Hey, looks like the two of us couldn't do it. Then we just need to increase our numbers. He. I haven't fucked a girl in weeks. I'm looking forward to it. This time, 5 bandits came. You're still there. As expected, it would be impossible for him to face this many with his current strength, so he ran away. Wait, the bandits chase after their first prey in a long time. Ha. It's okay, I trained seriously. All I have to do is run to the nearest town. With my leg strength. Here we go. One of the bandits swung his club at her feet, and it spun around in flight, hitting its intended target. Quote exclamation mark quote. She falls and comes to a stop. I try to stand up, but my legs hurt, so I fall down. Meanwhile, the bandits swarmed around her. And no. There you go. She ripped her clothes and exposed her breasts. Her breasts were large enough to hold anything in between them, and her nipples were a beautiful pink color, which aroused the bandits' lust. Ha, let's do it quickly. Ha. Damn it, I shook my fist and resisted. But, yay. Now, behave yourself. The 2 bandits held down both of my hands, leaving me completely unable to move. Kya, so soft. The man's rough hand squeezed the girl's breasts, who could do nothing to resist, and another hand tried to pull down her pants. And no, like this. I've just set out on my journey. I haven't even done anything yet. Someone help me. She screams out loud, praying and desperately resisting. No one's going to come to a place like this. You have a lovely voice. It's worth violating. It was the very moment when the girl's virginity was scattered. One of the bandits was kicked away by someone. Quote dot 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 exclamation mark question mark quote. What? Everyone present, including Yurin, was shocked. And what they were looking at was. Quote dot dot dot. What a despicable man who approaches me and resorts to violence. This is why I can't like men. G. Taka. A dignified woman stood there. Who are you? A bandit has no right to claim his name. If I had to say, I would say I am the one who will defeat you. She said this in a deep voice and got ready. Quote dot dot dot. Shut up. Let's do it. The 4 bandits drew their weapons and charged at him at once. But she was faster than they could attack. He teleported close in on one of the bandits and delivered a crushing punch to his chest. Goo. This destroyed his heart and killed him instantly. Then, with a roundhouse kick from his long leg, he struck the 2 bandits in the head, shattering their skulls and sending them falling to the ground with their heads distorted. Fire. He hits the last man with an uppercut. As he launches himself up, he jumps up and hits him with a roundhouse kick. Quote exclamation mark quote. The force of the blow that entered his stomach pierced his back, sending fragments of his spine flying and blood splattering. The bandit turned into a silent lump of flesh and collapsed. Quote dot 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 quote. After defeating all the bandits, she lands near the naked girl. Strong, are you okay? He said, giving Yurin a gentle smile. When she saw that gentle yet dignified smile, she thought, cool. Thank you very much. Yulin's expression softened and he expressed his heartfelt gratitude, and she smiled back at him, but then her eyes sharpened. No, there's just one more person. I'll go take care of that. With that, he bowed down and disappeared. The next moment, a bandit leapt up from the shade of a nearby tree. GWAAAAHHHH. Without a moment's hesitation, she leaps up after it. HMPH. Then, I delivered a roundhouse kick to his back, using the same technique I used to kill the fifth man. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. The force entered his back and exited his stomach. It flew further into the air, tracing a parabola before hitting the ground. Amazing. Quote. Quote. She lands and walks over to me. Yulin's mind had already been made up. I want to travel with this person. Yes, that was when I was about to ask. Ye. Quote exclamation mark question mark quote. The man cried out as he rose to his feet like a spring. That's how we got to where we are today. From here on, it's his perspective. Quote. Quote. Once again, I looked at the woman in front of me, still confused. Her skin was a bit brown, and she was only wearing a chest cloth and pants, so she was pretty lightly dressed. However, there was a reason for her light clothing. First of all, she was huge. She was over 180 centimeters tall. Her muscles were well toned, and her ripped abs spoke volumes of her strength. With such a strong body, what was the point of wearing any gear? After confirming that that was the case, I exhaled. Quote. Hey, what about that girl in the back? Jet points to Yulin, who is naked and covering her breasts as she watches us. He's a man after all. He only looks at weak women. At least listen to me. Are you in here? I tapped my head with my finger. This seemed to annoy her, and my enthusiasm began to weigh on me. You're good at talking, aren't you, man? I have a lot to say, but first of all, stop calling me man. Then try to shut me up, she said as she charged forward, launching a series of attacks at incredible speed. TCH, he resolved that there was no other way and defended against the fierce attack. However, her lightning-quick hand flicked away the arm that tried to defend itself. Say, the fist was thrust into his body, which was now completely exposed. The force of the blow sent him retreating, his shoes scraping against the ground. The damage was tremendous, and the martial arts technique was clever. It seemed that what Alaya Vijnana had said was true. Well then, I'll try my fist too. With that thought in mind, he took one quick step, came right in front of her, and launched a fierce attack. It was fine until I got close, but now you're just swinging your fists aimlessly. How pointless. She blocked the attack and slammed a fist into his side. Jin everything. Then he punched the body. The fist slammed into his body like a magnum, boasting devastating power. Diao Ping bucket. Goba, it hurts so much. If a normal person were to get hit by this, their ribs would be completely destroyed and they wouldn't be able to stand up. I have a friend named Joe who seems to have all the power he needs, but this power is probably even greater than his. Jet clutched his chest, steadying his breathing, then took a deep breath and turned to face her. Even in this situation, I knew something. Quote. You're not being serious, are you? She nods and laughs. If that had been serious, I would have been seriously disappointed. Jet laughs and looks at her. Come on, seriously, you already know I'm not just some bandit, right? I won't look cool if I get beaten like this. I'll use the power that saved the world without reservation and blow him away until he cools down. Top class, she seemed to be in the same frame of mind, and took a stance. Then, she tried to crash into me. The struggle to stop the wish. The naked girl said this, and the fighting came to a halt as if it had been temporarily stopped. What? Picture, even if I don't understand the language, I do understand this, she stopped the fighting. The struggle to stop. This is wrong. Naturally, this person is a bandit. You're young. The two also start speaking in a language that is hard to understand. But this is an opportunity. I can't keep fighting like this. I'll understand when we exchange blows. This person is by no means a bad person. He just has an incredible sense of justice and prejudice. I understand, that person is not evil, the girl said, running over to me. With the battle over, something had flipped inside my head. And so, the sight of a naked girl walking towards me, hiding her breasts, was unbearable for a virgin like me. Wah. Wait. Her face turns red, she looks away and holds out her hand. Quote. The girl was confused, however, She took another look at her outfit and blushed as well. Here we go. I dressed her in a fur coat. It was the same one worn by bandits, so it smelled a bit of sweat, but that was the only thing I could think of. Thank you very much. Are you hurt? She palpated the areas where her fists and feet had hit me. What the heck? It felt like delicate fingers were caressing my body, and it tickled. The woman who was watching this had also already relaxed her fighting stance. I thanked him and asked if he was hurt. Quote. Something surprising happened. The girl's fingers stroked precisely where his fist had struck. That meant she had seen through the entire battle. Thanks, I'm fine. Hoping to think it was just a coincidence, I quickly moved away from her. Quote. Are you not speaking? The man doesn't speak, except in the old language. Old language. They spoke in a language I couldn't understand, and I was completely left out. The conversation continues like this, so I don't know what to do. It would be weird to just leave, so what should I do? Man, a woman suddenly calls out. Yeah, I've decided to take this girl to the nearest town. Please help me. Quote. Yeah, I will. I wouldn't be able to do anything without you. You're very understanding. For the time being, Jet decided to go with them. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. In town. I came to town. It may seem strange to suddenly say this, but I had no idea what was going on. Although it was a city, the technology seemed to be behind that of their world. There were signs of electricity, but it felt weaker compared to Rose's city. There is no asphalt, and the houses and shops all appear to be made of wood. What is this? What? I can't understand the language the people passing by are speaking, and I don't understand the meaning of the signs posted everywhere. Quote. You really don't understand anything. Yeah, I'm fine. Honestly, I'm starting to panic. I had the illusion that I was the only one left behind. I felt like I was in a pitch-black room, and I looked around aimlessly. I'm surprised you really don't know anything. Oh well, I have a lot of questions for you. Oh, what is it? The next moment, the boy and girl's stomachs started making hungry noises. Quote. Come to think of it, I haven't eaten anything since I died in the previous battle. Quote. The girl blushed and looked down in embarrassment. Quote. There's no other way, let's go. The woman took the two of them by the hand and started walking. Ah, hey, Yuki, where are you? A diner. She replied in their language and pulled them away. We arrived at a restaurant and were shown to our seats. The girl and I sat next to each other, and she sat across from us. I can take the order myself. Understood, I'll take that man's order. Quote. Which one do you want? The woman shows me the menu. I could roughly read up to fried chicken set meal, and mapo tofu, but then it continued with a string of kanji characters I couldn't understand, like tenshinen, peguhen rice, and shark fin soup. Perhaps because the world line was the same until halfway through, there were some dishes that looked familiar. However, there were many dishes that I didn't recognize, and I couldn't even imagine what they were like. Pai gu fan high quality fish meal. Okay, I'll have this fried chicken set meal. Teeth. Oops, even though the kanji is the same, the pronunciation is different. Quote. This one. He pointed to the fried chicken set meal, which was the easiest to imagine. The woman seemed to understand and nodded. When he rang the doorbell, a waitress answered. She was a beautiful girl, and Jet's manly side was aroused. Gu Nyang Kunyan. Decided to order fried chicken set meal, then mapo tofu. I eat boneless rice. Accepted. Here is the order form. The waiter collects the menu and walks away. Quote. I couldn't help but stare at her butt peeking out from under her dress. Quote. Receiving the woman's suspicious gaze, he stopped looking and turned towards her again. Quote. I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Jet. Yes, I am Reite. I was named after the power my god used. He introduced himself to me and then turned to face the girl. My name is Raito. My name is Ricky the Divine Messenger. Girl, what's your name? Yulin. My name is Yulin. This child's name is apparently Yurin. Oh, I see. Nice to meet you. I bowed to Yurin and turned to Righteous again, and she immediately began speaking. First off, Jet, tell me about yourself. Where are you from? Well, it's a place called the Rose Kingdom. As soon as she heard that, her eyes widened as if an electric current had run through her. What? That's a country that disappeared over 500 years ago. Don't lie. Gohaya, I can't believe it. I certainly heard from Alaya Vijnana that several hundred years have passed, but my hometown is 500 years old, so this world is at least 500 years older than ours. I'm not lying. I'm serious. Quote. I know. The fact that you can only speak the old language is the best proof that you're not lying. Could it be that you're a so-called time traveler? Or an emissary from outside the planet? I don't know her age, approaches me with a look in her eyes that is beyond her years. Ah, so that's the kind of person you are. Quote. The way you put it, the time traveler is probably right. No, wait, let me explain from the beginning. Jet explained that he had been transported to this world after he died. Quote. I was prepared for you not to believe me, but are you convinced? Yeah, I can't believe it, but I guess I have no choice. Wait a moment. She explained what had happened earlier to Yurin in the other person's language. What? Good reaction. This looks like it'll be worth teasing. Quote. Well, that's about it for my background. My story didn't really matter at this point. There was something I wanted to know as soon as possible. I have a lot of questions, but first, what is that language you've been talking about? I can't understand it at all, and it's scary. For now, this is it. It's a language I've never heard before, and I can't understand it even if I try. Oh, you mean neologisms. In modern languages, neologisms have become the standard. Your language has long since deviated from the standard, it's an archaic language. Quote. Exactly. Quote. Yurin was feeling nervous as she watched the two people in front of her continue to speak in an incomprehensible language. Hot wait. At this point, the food I ordered was brought to me. The fried chicken set meal was exactly what I had imagined, so I was relieved. Lighty was served mapo tofu, and Yuling was served a bowl of rice topped with meat on the bone. Thank you, I'm eating it. Both Yurin and Lighty said something like, thank you for the meal, and began eating their food. Quote. So, what is your sister doing? Do I look like a big sister? Thank you. She says happily and laughs. I'm searching for my master who was supposed to be dead. Quote. Master, who was supposed to be dead. Ah. He has a gloomy expression on his face as he puts the mapo tofu in his mouth. Quote. There's a tournament called the Dragon Cup, held in the 4 regions of East, West, North and South. He died in the final match of the Eastern Dragon Cup, or so he should have, but there have been reports of sightings. I'm traveling to see if this is true. Quote. Quote. Until just now, I was taking on a request to exterminate bandits to earn a living. That's why I was nervous when we met at the scene. I'm sorry. That's fine. I'm sorry for appearing in a way that might have caused some misunderstanding. Quote. Why are you dressed like that? When I got here, I was completely naked. That's how I encountered the bandits, so I killed them and took only their clothes. The naked bandit's body is probably somewhere in that bamboo forest. Quote. I see. Ah, that's good. Yulin raised her hand. What? Quote. Quote. I devoured the fried chicken while watching the two of them converse in a new language. Quote. It's delicious. Surprisingly, the food here was so delicious that I thought it might be better. To be honest, if I was asked to live on this fried chicken for a month starting tomorrow, I could do it with ease. And so I munched away. Ah, suddenly, a scream rang out. It was the voice of the store clerk's daughter-in-law. Quote. Quote. What the? The 3 of them turned towards the voice. When I looked, I saw my daughter being attacked by 2 nasty men. A kingdom soldier. Non-resistance. He, calm down. Is it painful? Quote. Hey you guys. I stepped forward and looked at them. It seemed they were drunk and trying to rape this young woman. This was really troubling. Quote. Quote. What? Non-interference. Come on, it takes 2 people to do that with just 1 girl. I tried to persuade them, but they couldn't even understand the old language, so they just looked at me with puzzled expressions. I can't understand. What did this guy say? Seriously unspoken. Oh, am I being a bit stupid? Even if I don't understand the language, I can somehow understand that. Shut up. The man picked up a bottle and swung it down. Hey, however, with lightning speed, he struck his hand with a single blow, sending the bottle flying from the man's hand and slamming into the wall, shattering it. Quote. The man tries to reach for the sword at his waist and unsheath it, but it seems he can't get a good grip on it. He becomes suspicious and checks his hands. Quote. Exclamation mark question mark quote. It was no surprise that his hand wasn't working as he had hoped. The flesh was crushed and torn, exposing the bone, as if he had been crushed while clenching his fist. It's scary. Ouch. Ah. Boo-hi. This is killing. Another guy drew his sword and swung it down, but I managed to stop the attack with just 1 finger. Quote. Exclamation mark question mark quote. The man was naturally surprised. However, shock rippled through the air. Of course, it was impossible for a brat of around 18 years old to stop a sword slash with just his fingers. Quote. Exclamation mark quote. Chi arts. The 2 people eating with me also seemed surprised. Well, calm down. As the man approaches, he hits him with an empty chair he has brought from nearby, causing him to trip and fall. Hey, stand up. Quote. Exclamation mark quote. The man stood, readied his sword, and began swinging it wildly. Yo, ho, ha. He dodged it easily, picked up the chair, and kicked it, intending to hit the man's leg. Non-food, do the same thing twice. The man stops it with his foot and attacks. Oh, right. However, he kicked the chair away, causing it to fall over again. Quote. Exclamation mark quote. With that, the man crashes face first into the floor. There, Jet quickly kicked the man's sword, sending it flying into the air, and pointed it at the man. Are you still going? Ha, Kukui. The man stood up and ran away with his partner, whose hand was crushed. Quote. Are all men in this world like this? After chasing away the nasty man, he exhaled and said so. Then he looked at Ji Yuniang. Are you okay? Quote. Thank you, I'm grateful. Yeah. Although I couldn't understand the language, I could sense that they were grateful. I returned the gesture with a nod and walked back to my original table. Quote. Phew, there are only 2 pieces of fried chicken left. I feel a bit sad to say goodbye. Quote. Even though you're a man, you have a strong sense of justice. She talks about such things casually. You idiot, I'm a man, so I can't just abandon them. And before I was a man, I was a hero. If a weak person is being subjected to unreasonable violence, I have to go and help them. When she heard that, she nodded with an impressed look on her face. I was glad that she seemed to agree. Quote. I see, it seems I had a misunderstanding about men. I've met many different men on my journey so far, but I've never met a man like you. Oh, is that a compliment? Yes, I'm flattered. And where are you going? Yes, I'm going to defeat this guy called the Emperor. She heard that and her face lit up. Quote. Then our interests are completely aligned. Join us. Yeah, no, what do you mean by becoming friends just because we have common interests? I mean, what about me, duh. Yeah, I was talking to Yurin while you were eating fried chicken. She said that she wanted to overthrow the current emperor in order to bring order to the world. And that she wanted to travel around the world on the way. That's great, our interests are aligned, right? And no, what's the point of me being alone in a place with two girls? Your power is powerful, the stronger your allies are, the better. At this point, Yurin also came to us for a favor. Please, we are the lenders, quote. He didn't understand what she was saying, but he could tell that her intentions were genuine. And her eyes were filled with conviction, even though she had no proof, they reminded him of the man he once was, who had tried to become a hero. Pushed by those innocent and straightforward eyes. Quote. I understand. Before I knew it, I had replied that way. I appreciate it, thank you, thank you. First, Laite expressed his gratitude. Then, perhaps sensing the good atmosphere, Yurin also bowed her head and expressed her gratitude. And so Jet finds himself joining a strange party of two female martial artists. Quote. If this kind of woman does something bad, it will ruin the image of men. So, what should we do? Thinking about what he would do next, he couldn't help but sigh. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. Defeating bandits. Jet decides to join Laite in fighting the bandits. Yurin also joins in, hoping to help out. Jet and Yurin's punches sent the two bandits flying. With that, things calmed down for the time being. Fu, you're so strong. She speaks to me in a new language. Oh, really? I didn't understand what she meant, so I just replied appropriately. She nodded intuitively and continued speaking. A strong male species, this world's precious value, young men, lots of sex women. She said this while blushing and looking down. Oh, what, did I say something bad? But then again, she didn't understand the old language. If we couldn't understand each other's language, there was nothing we could do. Quote. Hehe, you'll be surprised when you learn a new word. Lighty, covered in blood, comes towards us. Okay, then I'll ask you to tell me tonight. So, have you found the bandits' base? Yeah, I found it, but it's become a bit of a problem. Troublesome, I get a bad feeling when I see Laite's clouded expression. In this world, a skilled martial artist is called a martial artist, and not just someone who is strong. They are people who can single-handedly defeat an army of 100 or 200 men. I say that I am also a martial artist, but... Oh, are you one of those bandits? That martial artist? Ah, I see, so there is someone among those bandits who may be of the same rank as Laite-san. Is that what you call a boss? When she heard that, she looked strange. What's boss? In this world, there are times when old expressions don't work. That's terrifying and unbearable. Do you know how to say, General? Ah, yeah, that's right, he's the leader of the bandits. This seemed to work, and I was relieved. So, will Yurin and I be defeating the small fry here and there, while Laite clashes with that guy? That would be ideal, but battles don't always go as planned. There's a good chance that the final battle with the general will be left to you. Oh, why? Hearing this, she blushed and turned around. Quote. If only I could understand what Yurin said earlier, it would have been quicker. But never mind, just follow me. Quote. I can kind of imagine it now. Anyway, there's no point in just defeating small fry. I need to do something about the main castle quickly. The two followed Righteous, the bandits, headquarters. It's a dimly lit cave and not very complicated. We continued to advance deeper, mowing down the approaching bandits, and before we knew it we had reached the innermost part. Hey, we're finally here. Quote. As expected, there was someone who looked like it. A strong-looking woman with dark skin and muscular build. He glares at me while eating a hearty piece of meat on the bone. Are you this bandit general? Lighty asks. Why? Jet doesn't know what he's saying. Shangko you know Yan Yu. Kidong, I don't think so, I'm here. The woman looked out over our camp, then her gaze stopped fixed on me. Hey, cute boy, he said, licking his lips. Then he continued. I don't know anything about this, the government asked me to do something about it, or anything like that. However, I'm not going to come back here alive. You bastards, come out. As she shouted, the bandits who had been hiding came up behind her. They had their weapons drawn and were in full fighting mode. Good behavior, woman, this man is my responsibility. The general then stood in front of Jet, and the bandits attacked Lighty and the others. Come, Yurin, yes, they bravely began fighting the bandits. And then, quote. Can you speak the old language? You speak the old language. Yes, I can. Old languages are a hobby of the martial arts. So you do too. I don't know what Bukyo is, but I can only speak the old language. Please forgive me. When I prepare myself, she prepares herself in response. You have a really cute face. I wonder how you'll react if we mate violently. Quote. What a vulgar woman. I knew a succubus named Lisha in my previous life, and I think she had more refined taste. I'll bet my life. Tell me your name. Jet, remember that. I'm Southern. Let's go. After barely exchanging names, they start clashing with each other. Countless fists collide. The trajectories of the fists form lines that then become intricately intertwined in all directions. Damn it. The defense is broken, but it is quickly covered by another defense. If that is broken, it is covered by another defense. Quote. Strategic analysis begins. Judging from the feel of the punch, it wouldn't do much damage even if it hit. However, this was a diversion. His plan was to land a heavy blow while he was frightened. Even so, it's clever. No matter how much you defend, it's peeled away. It's not like you can't resist or anything like that. Your defenses are peeled away, and you're not even allowed to resist. This must be the battle of this world. A battle that focuses on skill, not strength. In that case, let me show you my strength and technique. A momentary gap, but even that moment was enough. He drove his sharp, lightning-fast fist into her stomach, acknowledging that he and others were doing so with incredible speed. She is injured and has no idea what hit her, but it won't be long before it becomes clear that it was Jet's fist. Maybe I'm a genius after all. Just when I was feeling so conceited. I like strong men, I heard a whisper from behind me. Quote. He blocks the attack that comes from behind just in time. Quote. While I was getting complacent, he got behind me. I see, it seems they're confident in their speed. Next, a palm strike was delivered to the body. This was a direct hit. Quote. Quote. It's not just a palm strike. It has destructive power. By the time he realized this, his body had already flown through the air and slammed into the wall. He was hit with such force that it felt like his body was going to break apart, causing him to vomit blood. However, what really hurt was his stomach, where the palm had struck him. The force of the blow exploded inside his body, shaking his internal organs. I remember this feeling. I once fought a man who used northern martial arts in my previous world. It is a martial art in which the human body is likened to a bag filled with water and impacts are delivered. The impact travels through the water, causing the bag to break. The same thing was done with this body. Po Lai Punk. So it was only natural to compare them. The results were immediate. Quote. You're weaker than Lawrence. With that one word, she spat out all the energy she had unleashed and got up. Quote. Quote. He then ran around energetically and punched her in the face. This is my payback. In his mind, he remembered the technique his friend had used on him. He tried to imitate it and execute it. He pressed his fist against her stomach and paused in that position. Play. The initial speed of the punch, which was filled with all his strength, was already at its maximum speed, sending her large body flying far away. Quote. Quote. A giant body flies through the air. The air is filled with astonishment. The bandits' battle comes to a halt. In a space where time seemed to have stopped, only her body traced a parabola and crashed to the ground with a thud. Quote. Quote. Considering it was just copycat work, I think it turned out pretty well. But then I realized that there was no way I could reach Lawrence. He was a genius on a completely different level than me. I had no choice but to give up my skills to him. Cough. She coughed, vomiting blood. Her eyes had already given up playfulness and were now those of a wild animal, looking at me as a predator. Quote. Kill. It seems that the blow from earlier had certainly hit her pride. Love. Oh, she roars as she unleashes a blow. He parries it and strikes its jaw with a lightning-fast fist. Quote. Quote. The blow to the jaw shook his brain and knocked him out of consciousness. He collapsed, only his momentum remaining. He regained consciousness, got up, turned around, and delivered a spin kick. Quote. Quote. I block it with my arms, but she doesn't stop yet. Keeping his supporting foot in place, he rotates backwards once, points his kicking leg towards you and throws it with force. He tried to block it, but it was too powerful, and he retreated, his shoes scraping against the ground. Seeing the opportunity, she kicked the ground with both feet and charged forward. Quote. Katakana middle. Quote. Wo shi gashiki fei yan quan hinken. My style means that this technique is my own style. Heen means to fly, yan swallow. Quote. Quote. Fists were slammed into my body. Nearly 17 times in an instant. Flying swallows are fast. That's a fact that everyone knows. So this fist was modeled after a flying swallow, and it had the speed to match. But he didn't give up. Instead, he smiled, showing his white teeth. Quote. Quote. Indeed, a barrage of punches as fast as a flying swallow, then I'll show you I can catch up with that too. I came here and turned off the limiter. I poured a superior version of magical power into the circuits of the magical power coursing through my body. It circulated throughout my entire body. Xian Li mantra. An enormous storm of energy arose. Quote. Quote. What? The three women were almost blown away. They were blown away, damn it. Shan Zei weaklings. Quote. Why you? Who are you? The former legendary hero. I got carried away and said something like that. Don't be ridiculous. Is there really a hero like you? Yeah, but I'm not a hero. Saying so, he charges. Those flying swallow-like fists were closing in on him in countless numbers, but that didn't seem like a big deal to him. I can see it. That super fast fist that I hadn't seen at all until just now is now moving in slow motion. His super fast fists, which can hit 17 times per second, don't even come close to brushing against Jet, who moves at lightning speed. By the way, he's not serious about this, he's just in the mood, which is scary. In any case, Heem's fist was defeated by his lightning speed. What's more, while dodging all of his attacks, he found an opening. Ha, he sent her flying with a casual roundhouse kick. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark question mark quote. What had been visible before was now completely invisible as it leapt several times faster. The force of the blow was also completely different, and she was sent flying horizontally at a tremendous speed. However, he flies past her. He circled around to where he was blown away and kicked him up. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. He delivered a powerful kick to the jaw, sending his body flying upwards along with his consciousness. But she didn't let up on her attack. I jumped up and circled around to where she had been blown away. There, and then, he brought down a fist filled with divine power on his stomach. Her belly pushes through her abdominal muscles, pushing up her back, and in an instant she falls at high speed. However, he quickly moved to where she had fallen and picked her up as if she were a pizza. He is already unable to fight. There is no point in fighting any further. Liar, killing the boss, scary, monster, escape. Having lost their leader, the bandits try to flee, but before they can do so, Light Sand stands in their way. You bastards, don't think so. Just go home. She roared angrily and began to kill the remaining mobs. Quote. Since we've lost our leader, I don't think there's any point in continuing this any further, but I guess I'll let him continue until he's satisfied. Thus, the bandits were defeated. A man who looked like an official came and rushed to the scene. The surviving bandits, including Southern, will be thrown into the prisons of the nearest country. We received a reasonable amount of reward money and returned to town. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. At the inn, the three of them defeated the bandits. Perhaps it was a good thing that they had captured the boss, Southern, alive, so they had money to spare and decided to stay at the most expensive inn in town. Quote. 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 The gazes of the two of them hurt. I see, it's not something you see often in a normal life. Maybe I got too carried away. Xian Li mantra. Quote. Hey Jet, about that thing from earlier. Why yes. No, there's no need to hide it. At first I thought it was a technique called Kukijutsu, but that power was similar to Master's. Do you know anything about it? Even if you say that, it's troubling. Even I acquired divine power without even understanding why, so there's no way to explain it. Quote. Quote. But first, I need to explain something called divine power. Divine power, it's written as divine power and pronounced as mantra. I can use it. The power of a god. It's the same power as my master's. She approached with shining eyes, and there was a look of expectation in her eyes. Oh, I can use it to a certain extent too. However, when I use it, my reason is blown away. I see, if I can master it, I can fight like that. It seemed like she had come to an understanding on her own. Well, if something inside her was cleared up, then that was good enough. More importantly, big sister, can you teach me what a new word is? Urine can take a bath first. After saying that, Mr. Lighte nodded and said something to Urine, but she shook her head and hands, pretending to be there. Quote. It would be bad for me to go to the bath by myself. I'd rather watch over us studying. Oh, I get it. I'll master it in an hour so Yulin can take a bath sooner. With that said, he got into a studying position. Quote. Are you serious? It's difficult, isn't it? It's okay, I'm a genius. After saying that, she let out a sigh and laughed. Quote. Then I'll just study for an hour today. Then we'll all take a bath together. Oh, everyone, by the way, the bath is a hot spring. Come on, hurry up. While we were talking, the new word study session started. And then, an hour later. Quote. Really, you can master it in just an hour. Oh, at least we can have a conversation, right? I'm already speaking the new language. It's still a challenge, but so far it's working. You really are smart. I'm starting to understand a lot of what Yurin is saying. Well, I'm a genius. That way of speaking is quite annoying. She says, giving him a peck on the cheek. Quote. Quote. The way he teased her, it brought back memories of her past to her mind. Quote. 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 What happened? Jet's expression changed, and she seemed to sense something, but he just brushed that ominous expression over with a normal face. Nothing, but don't peck me on the cheek. I don't like it. I'm so sorry. Sorry, did I scare you? I couldn't help but apologize. I was about to take a nice bath. This is something I should think about slowly while soaking alone in the bath. It's not something I should talk about with someone. Well, I'm going to the men's bath. Men's bath. What is the men's bath? Their simple questions almost took me by surprise. And no, look, aren't you guys going to the women's bath? What is the women's bath? Yurin said this with a blank look on her face. No, she started babbling. Well, I'm a guy after all. Do you mean that men and women have separate bathing areas? Lighte said this while trying to hold back his laughter. Quote. What is it? When I said that with a sullen expression, she burst out laughing. Furu. Ah ha ha ha, are you saying such outdated things? What, are you outdated? Irritation overcomes shock and flies away. The gender-segregated bathing system. I've never heard of such a combination of words. I thought that, gender-segregated bathing system, and, old, had the same relationship as chocolate parfait, and, boomerang pants. Oh no, that's right. You're a time traveler. I see, you're from the past. Jet, in this world, efforts have been made to eliminate gender barriers so that men and women can have better relationships. Men and women are the same as human beings. Men and women can learn, improve, and live equally. That's why it's not unusual for women to become martial artists or men to become waiters. Quote. It's a completely opposite way of thinking to my world. They create a barrier between men and women to maintain good relationships. I see, so this is another world. But, you know, this is just the case here at this hot spring, but if some lewd, evil man were to try to do something strange to a woman. Yeah, just as he was about to say this, there was a tremendous noise, the earth shook, and a man's scream rang out. Quote exclamation mark question mark quote. Kya, Jet and Urin look around in shock. Suddenly, several people who appeared to be staff members came in and said things like, oh, it happens again today, and, that happens all the time, and then they all bustled into the hot spring. Quote. Quote. Did something happen? After a while, the officers came out carrying several men on stretchers, all of whom looked badly injured. Eh. Saying this, he went back the way he came. Quote. 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 If you were trying to do something weird to a woman, what? Lighty asks with a creepy laugh. He's being mean, even though he can see the results. Quote. I'll join after you guys. No, there are things you might want to talk about naked. As I tried to run away, he grabbed my shoulder. It seemed he had no intention of letting me get away. Well, I'm sure that would happen. I'm a virgin. If I see a naked woman, I'll get a boner. Just because your dick is erect, so what? Show me what you have. No, it's embarrassing. I don't have that kind of confidence. For a strong and righteous man like you, that's not the case. Have more confidence in your penis. G-ax. Stop calling me that pretentious dick. It pisses me off. After I said that, I turned to Urin. Hey, you wouldn't like it if I got horny nearby, right? She blushed when he suddenly brought up the topic, but there was no trace of disgust in her expression. It's not like that, Jet-san, I know that. I mean, I didn't say anything when you stood up. But, well, I'll try my best not to look, okay. But you'd hate it if I saw your breasts, right? No, well, I'm a martial artist too. I'm confident that I have breasts that I won't be embarrassed to show off. It's the first time I've shown them to a man close to my age, so it's a little embarrassing, but I hope it will be the start of our trust. Wait, you're weird. Despite Jet's best efforts to contain his embarrassment, he said it anyway, and it ignited a fire in her. There's nothing strange about it. On the contrary, why does Jet-san refuse to take a bath with us? Don't you want to take a bath with us? Oh, sorry. I never said that. Immediately after he said that with a hint of apology, Lighty's eyes lit up. Then don't complain. And then, my arms were forcibly crossed. They were crossed with incredible strength, something you wouldn't expect from a woman, and my arms creaked. Don't worry, I won't do anything strange. I promise you that. My arm will break before that happens, sis. I'd be devastated if my arm was broken. And it seemed pointless to say anything more. I gave up and decided to take a bath with them. Quote. As soon as I entered, everyone's eyes turned towards me. After glancing at one of the three people, they all turned to me. Thank you. I try to take a shower while lowering my gaze, trying not to look at the woman as much as possible. Quote. What is this? Even showering was different from the way it was in the previous world. A switch flips in my head and the world becomes just me in the shower. Quote. There are 3 buttons lined up: hot water, regular water, and cold water. What we can guess is that hot water means a hot shower, normal means a room temperature shower, and cold means a cold shower. Quote. First, I pressed the normal button, and as expected, the shower temperature was lukewarm. Quote. For now, I've been exposed to it lightly, so I think I'll stop. But here's the problem. So, how do I stop it? Or rather, if you're going to make it like this, I think you absolutely need a stop button or something like that. Is something bothering you? Suddenly, help arrived. It's fun to solve these problems by myself. For the time being, I couldn't just ignore the offer of help, so I decided to be honest and ask for advice. Yes, well, I don't know how to stop it. Oh, so you're new to this hot spring. Press any button twice and it will stop. I did as instructed and pressed the normal button twice, and the shower stopped. Oh, thank you. After all, this is a place for naked interaction, and there are some kind people there. With that in mind, I turned around to look at his face and thank him. When I turned around, I saw a beautiful woman in her prime smiling with her large, firm breasts completely exposed. The male in the jet was tickled and then fixated on her chest. Her breasts were large and soft, and I could probably feel them getting too big for my hands. Her nipples were so beautiful, they just made me want to bite them, and they were pointing straight up. The moment I confirmed this, my reason returned and I turned my head violently halfway. A strange sound rang out and it felt like my cervical vertebrae were going to break, but it was a good wake-up call that brought me back to reality. Oh my, what happened? Are you okay? Did I do something? My ears are bright red. Did I get overheated just from taking a shower? It's okay, it's okay. I'm sorry, thank you. I was so anxious and embarrassed that I ended up saying all sorts of things. Well, are you okay? Why yes. Trying to appear calm, I started washing my hair, closing my eyes to protect them from the bubbles. GN eyelid. Quote. That's right, if I wash my body quietly by myself, no one will say anything. I know how to use the shower. I'll quickly wash my body and get in the bathtub. After washing my body, I soak in the bath. Quote. It's been a while since I've been to such a prestigious bath. It's expensive, so it really soothes my tired body. Jet, you have some amazing muscles. Urine suddenly strokes his abs. Hiya, the boy's body had only been expecting to be hit, but the unexpected experience of being gently stroked caused a bug to appear. Even Urine was surprised by his high-pitched voice. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you not like me touching you? No, it was just ticklish. I'm fine, I couldn't help but react like a virgin. If I continued like this, I would be a wreck by the time I left. My brain was already on the verge of breaking down, to the point that I could even think that. Well, I'm training too. Look, come on. Urine takes his hand and lets it touch her stomach. There was certainly the perfect abs of a martial artist, but more than that, there was the delicateness that is unique to a young girl's skin. It was so soft and comfortable that it seemed as if it would crumble if you stroked it. Quote. Exclamation mark quote. But to the virgin, it's an electric current. A tremendous electric shock continues to explode in his hand. I get it. Thank you. You're better than me, aren't you? It was hard to let go, but for some reason I felt like I had to. I followed the latter sentiment and half forcefully brought my hand back to my own. Urine looked a little disappointed. And I was so nervous and excited that I could see myself blushing. You're just too nervous. This time, Light Sand seemed to feel sorry for me and put her arm around my shoulders. She even pressed her breasts against my cheek. Quote. Exclamation mark quote. Is that okay? If you're a strong warrior, you should enjoy things like this. Do you intend to live a shameless life while possessing such power? And no, wait, my chest, no, Her train of thought began to malfunction, and she was at a loss for words. But she continued. Now that I think of it, you were a virgin. I see, so it's no wonder you don't know how to have fun. She said this while licking her lips, then suddenly grabbed my arm, pushed me against the wall, and brought her face close to mine. Hey, what are you doing? This is disgusting, Oni-san. Please stop. Well, don't be embarrassed. It'll get better soon. Oh Oni-san, don't do anything weird. It's not weird to lose your virginity, right? Light's voluptuous breasts pressed against the boy's strong chest, and he gave her a gentle kiss. Don't worry, big sister will teach you step by step. She continues, whispering in his ear. The lewd whispers made his reason melt away, and he was left unable to do anything. Well then, and so it all began in the hot spring at night. Bushi. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. The hero is consumed by sex. Well, first, Lighty grabbed Jet's waist and forced him to sit there, exposing his penis, which he had tried so hard to hide, right in front of her. Heat rose in his face. He blushed visibly, and felt as if his body from the neck up was on fire. It was incredibly embarrassing to have a woman staring at him intently. Her gaze sweeps over his erect penis, licking it. His scrotum was large, and looked like it was filled with even more sperm. His shaft was thick, with visible veins, and rock hard. His pink glands was wet from the water and glistening, and looked sensitive. Perhaps because he held the title of legendary hero, they were all impeccably strong, like an excellent male. Amazing. Oh, what a strong, powerful penis. Both Urine, who was watching from the side, and Light, who was watching up close, praised his huge penis. Stop it. Don't praise me. When I'm praised, I feel embarrassed. However, contrary to what he said, the surrounding females had smelled the male's presence and came over with a glint in their eyes of wild animals that had found their prey. What, that? Isn't it big? They looked like the young man and his daughter from before. It seemed they were planning to join in on the action. Seriously, in the past, when I was weak, I had my pants and underwear pulled down in front of a nasty guy. At the time, I felt nothing but humiliation and shame. But the situation was completely different. First of all of them were women. And they were all looking at my thing with expectations. As if responding to that expectation, contrary to his conscience, his thing became erect. Quote. Does being seen turn you on? Urine said this while peering into my face. Naturally, I shook my head frantically. Seeing this, her sadistic tendencies seemed to be aroused, as she grinned and stretched her nose. It made my heart skip a beat to see such a serious-looking girl make such an expression. But this dick is really impressive. You should have more confidence. If you're proactive, this world will change, right? Lighty says this while poking the head of my penis. Stop calling me that pretentious dick. You still don't have the confidence. Urine. Why yes, with eyes that had completely turned predatory, the girls lined up and stared at his thing. Behind them, the two girls also peered in. Well, what should I do? First of all, kiss this demon so that he can gain confidence. Lighty's lips give a quick kiss to the head of my penis. Her soft, thick lips clung to his, causing him to react with a jerk. Well, is it like this? Yurin's lips also sucked on the head of his penis. Unlike Lighty's, it was awkward, but that only fueled the mysterious pleasure. So, is it okay for me to join? I will too. A middle-aged woman and her daughter also kiss the head of his penis. Does it feel good? Have you gained confidence? The four lips crawled all over my erect penis. Each one had its own unique personality, and each one stirred up a unique kind of pleasure. The owner of this magnificent erection moans in pleasure in a pathetic voice. But it's only natural. This man has no experience with women. And yet, he suddenly finds himself being loved one-sidedly by four women. Song Sobi. Now, let's get serious about punishing you. Yurin, study hard. Yes, as Yurin watched, Light finally took the head of his penis into her mouth. It was my first time in my mouth. It was warm, slippery, and felt great. But it couldn't end there. She opened her cheeks and pressed the flesh of her mouth against his shaft, licking the underside of his head and sucking on it while moving her head up and down. Jai Subo. It felt so good that they let out such cries, which only fueled their sadistic tendencies. Does it feel good? As she skillfully performs oral sex, she looks up at him, checking his reaction, while making lewd slurping sounds as she relentlessly drives him in. It's cute. Really, I just want to bully you. The middle-aged woman and her daughter started licking my nipples. Oh my, so sensitive. Your nipples are what make you feel it. The two of them licked her nipples mercilessly. He was being attacked from above and below, and he was at a loss as a storm of pleasure raged inside his head. At this point, Lighty took his mouth away. Yulin, give it a try. Why yes, as if switching places, Yurin's mouth covered the head of his penis, and an awkward blowjob began. Torture the tip with your tongue, close your mouth and stimulate the shaft, making lewd sounds while moving your head. Following her advice, oral sex was performed. Yurin was a fast learner and soon mastered the oral assault of wave after wave of pleasure. I've reached my limit. I'm so excited that everything turns to pleasure. Their gazes, their soft lips, and their wet, crawling tongues bring me to my peak. Alright, it's twitching. Okay, let's both take the blame. They licked the head of his penis, which was already swollen and bulging as he was about to climax. Their rough, slimy tongues stimulated him, and the pleasure intensified. Then, an urge surged up from his urethra. I can't take it anymore. I'm coming. Even as he spoke, the torture continued. The two of them moved their tongues up and down the underside of his penis, bringing him to his climax. And then. Finally, the boy reached his climax. His cock twitched and spurted out a huge amount of thick semen. This happened 3 times. The thick, milky liquid stained their faces and mouths, but they showed no signs of discomfort. Rather, they sniffed and tasted the semen with expressions of ecstasy. Strange taste. The smell is strong. With the sloppy sounds coming from their mouths, I could imagine their tongues stirring up the semen. Oh my, so you came. That's so naughty. The middle-aged woman and her daughter moved their licking from his nipples to his penis. As if responding to the mother and son's synchronized fellatio, the semen that had been left in the urethra spurted out. The girls licked it up as if cleaning it up. Ooh. I ejaculated 2 or 3 times more than when I did it myself, and yet my big cock remained hard. Even though I let out so much, it's still hard. Isn't it the end for men once they've ejaculated? You're young, it's so stiff. The 4 fingers stroked his glands, giving him a frustrating pleasure that made his still hard penis twitch and bounce. Then I'll go first. Lighty gets on the jet and the other 3 leave for a moment. The private parts and the head of the penis come into contact as if kissing. Then the private parts take the huge penis all the way to the base. They both gasp and their eyes widen. How was it? The taste of a woman for the first time. Her well-trained abdominal muscles gripped my penis tightly. I could feel the strength and it was certainly a pleasant sensation. It feels so good. Unable to resist, I answered honestly. Then she laughed. Then, enjoy it to the fullest. I'll make the first move, okay? Saying this, she pulled her hips back. Then, her inner flesh pressed tightly against my shaft and glands as if to say, I don't want to let go. Oh, wow, Righty-san, yours is amazing too. She lowered her hips and took his penis deep into her mouth again. Lighty moans obscenely as he is penetrated deep inside. Jet feels an unknown pleasure in his genitals. Something ignites within the two of them. It gradually grows and burns. Her hips move faster and harder. The love juices dripping from her private parts wet his shaft, making a lewd noise. Her ass slaps against his hips, making a loud thumping noise. Wow, that's amazing, Lighty-san. As he experiences the storm of pleasure coursing through his body, he becomes transfixed by the ripe mounds of flesh swaying before his eyes. Cock. The big cock that helped the boy lose his virginity feels so good. Lighty moaned obscenely. It was an incredible expression that was unimaginable from her usual self. Seeing her like that, his patience finally evaporated. Righty-san. They flipped positions, and now he was on top, squeezing her breasts and moving his hips vigorously. Jet, have you finally learned how to pleasure a woman? Why yes, I'm the one making women feel good. I want to make them feel even better. Thinking that, my hips started moving faster and I began to search for her good spots. Oh, this is it, she gasped loudly, and I thrust into her, causing her to arch her back and convulse violently. Oh, no, stop there, I'm coming. It's good, right, it's here, right, Enenhu, that's not good, I'm coming again. With her eyes rolled back, she moaned in pleasure. The inside of her vagina also seems to undulate, giving her a unique sense of pleasure. It's coming, that feeling of pleasure surged up inside me. So, when I pulled my hips back and tried to pull out my cock from my private parts. Ramen, inside, it's lame, his legs held my waist and I couldn't get out. It tastes disgusting, if I don't take it out quickly, I'll get pregnant. He tries to pull out again and again, but is repeatedly guided deep inside. This intensifies the pleasure and urge. I don't care, just come with enough force to make me pregnant. Squirt your semen inside me and feel good. No more. Her legs were held firmly, and she was guided to the deepest part of her body. Then, she was squeezed tightly. With no other option, he ejaculated a huge amount. The semen, shot out with enough force to impregnate her, hit the depths of her uterus. She also reached her peak and convulsed violently. Her private parts ejaculated, staining his waist. Finally, he pulled out his penis from her vagina. A thick mixture of semen and love juice dribbled out. Inside, whoosh, hee, I really think I might get pregnant. That's not possible. Urine tapped Jet on the shoulder, who was worried. I'm next. She was already in heat, breathing heavily, phew, and a sticky liquid was dripping from her crotch. That was only natural, after being shown such a violent mating scene. I'll ask you to help me later. I can't hold back either. The mother and child also approach me, looking aroused. I get it. After getting to know the women, his thing became erect again, and he was fully prepared to devour and be devoured by them. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. Big Shadow. I wake up in my futon at the inn. Yesterday was amazing. After that, I came back here and shook my hips until everyone was satisfied. When I remembered that, my body suddenly became sluggish. I tried to get up, but someone's arms grabbed me and I was knocked down again. No way. I looked and saw the young woman hugging me, her arms tightly around my shoulders and her large breasts pressed against my chest. He blushes and shakes off the arm. What is it? The woman wakes up and looks at me with sleepy eyes. I've been wondering about you since yesterday, who are you? I ended up hugging her on impulse, but I don't know anything about her or her daughter. Why on earth did she give her body to me? I'm Shui Mei, I'm the manager of the diner you visited. And you don't recognize me? Suddenly, Shui Mei's daughter appeared. Who are you? It was so sudden that I couldn't help but say it without thinking. You really don't remember anymore. The hero who saved me when I was about to be raped. .. At this point, he remembered. At that restaurant, he had fought back against the two nasty men, and the girl who had been attacked was now right in front of him. That old woman. That's right, so you finally remembered. Ji Yuniong said, grabbing his head and kissing him. I'm Mermaid, nice to meet you. My, how bold of my daughter. I'll get away. Jet leapt out of the way, placing the two in front of him, then turned towards Shui Mei. What are you doing here? You're a married woman, why did you do this with me? My, young people these days can use adult words like, married woman. She said, then approached Jet. You see, I lost my husband 5 years ago, so I'm not a married woman now. I've been sexually frustrated ever since my daddy left, but all men out there only think about pleasing themselves, right? And then this young virgin showed up. I guess mommy's eyes weren't wrong after all. I don't know if it's a dark story or not. This world is strange after all. What on earth could have happened to make it so erotic? Besides, I was able to save my daughter. Thank you. That's so reckless. The rewards don't match my actions, or maybe my values don't apply in this world. What's going on? I don't understand anything anymore. But Jet, you were having so much fun. When I turned around, there was a girl who had just learned how to do bad things. Yurin, both she and Mermaid were virgins until yesterday, and the weak-willed boy ended up embracing them. Right-san went to great lengths to save you. I'm telling you, Jet isn't a bad person. He's not a bad person. Is that enough of a reason to forgive his body? In this world, is it? But now you've become a fine man, Laite said as she hugged him, pressing her chest against his back. .. He was so upset that he started making a strange high-pitched voice. The girls saw him and giggled. Aren't you used to it yet? Being surrounded by beautiful naked women. You call yourself a beautiful woman. Is that bad? Her arms went around my neck and squeezed me, making bones creak and crackle. I'm sorry, it's not my fault, please stop, I'll die. He managed to say this while being strangled. Then the arms around his neck loosened. Thank you. What's going on? It seems that I have been transported to a rather outrageous world. I am once again made painfully aware of this. Well then, Alaya Vishnana, will I be able to save this world safely? As soon as I left the inn, I had to part ways with a mother and child. Of course, they weren't busy. Besides, these kinds of things are a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I couldn't bear it to happen again and again. Both of you, look at this. Yes, what Laite brought out was a woodblock print. Well, it's what we would call a newspaper in this world. Quote. I wanted to check the contents, but unfortunately I couldn't read it. I can speak the new words somehow, but I still have a long way to go before I can read them. Emperor Arashia is traveling all over the country to expand his country. Emperor Arasha, I tried to put the unfamiliar words into words, and Urin coughed. It's the name of an empire that's located very close by. At the same time, it's the empire that controls this city, and it seems that this empire is attacking other countries in order to expand its territory. You mean, is there really someone who would do such a demonic thing? What era is that person from? Why, it doesn't make sense. Me too. This is unacceptable. Why on earth would that happen? It's not difficult, Lighty said to the excited two. Simply put, if you have land, you have money. If you have money, the country prospers. If there is war, money circulates, and that's how a country grows and becomes powerful. After saying that, she took a small breath and let it out in a big sigh. Her eyes were looking into the distance, and there was a hint of sadness in them. Quote. I see, so you two don't know. We live in an age where the strong are right. An age where violence rules, an age where the devil smiles. Quote. Jet thought, still, the non-fictional brutality depicted in this newspaper is unforgivable. Is the strong right? Does violence rule? The answer is obvious. At a time like this, but, I'm sure you'd say something like this, Rorensu that guy Joe that guy. Then I'll shut him up by force. I won't try to force myself to do the right thing. It's obvious that my sense of justice has already fallen apart. But if I still think I'm right, if I can stick to what I believe to be right, then I should definitely do it. You can regret things after it's over. You can complain after you're dead. If you have the power, you must fight. His powerful words, they resonated deeply in Laite's heart. Quote. Me too, that's why I became a martial artist. Yu Lin's words also expressed a firm determination. I want to save the weak, I want to save every life I can. I know that's hypocritical, but that's what my late mother wanted me to be, so I've decided to become a kind emperor. I see, your enthusiasm is well spoken. Great, let's do it and take over the country. Lighty grinned and slammed his fist. There's a small village north of here. It's also a rebel gathering place, so there should be people there who share our views. Then let's go there. The three of them decided on their destination and began to walk lightly, but 5 men stood in their way. Yay, looking around, they were all men, and they looked like high-ranking soldiers. Quote. Both Urin and Laite seemed to sense the uneasy atmosphere and did not look very happy. However, thank you, we will only be reporting on the jet's normal operating conditions. That's right, ladies, step back. I have business with that man over there. What's going on? Did I do something to you guys? Quote. Do you recognize this wound? One of the soldiers, a man with a bandage on his hand. Seeing that reminds me of those nasty guys who tried to rape the mermaid at the diner. It's you after all. Harming our soldiers is nothing but rebellion against the Empire. You'd better die and apologize. The soldiers all drew their swords and surrounded Jet. Hey Jet, shall I help you? If things get bad, I'll ask you. While replying to their voices, he cracks his fingers. By Empire, you mean the Arashi Empire. You're absolutely right. HMPH, don't act all cocky just because you're in front of a woman, boy. Anyone who rebels is authorized to be executed on the spot. You must hate yourself for having such a half-hearted sense of justice. At that moment, Jet's mind caught the murderous intent of 5 people, pulled the trigger, and the switch was flipped. Quote. Women rape, and are quick to try to kill people. Don't think I'd be kind to someone like that. Their punishment has already been decided. For clearly directing murderous intent towards me, the death penalty. It's not because they're men. They're simply returning murderous intent with murderous intent. The sword was swung down towards me. I dodged it with my own eyes and countered with a straight right to the face. The man's face was pulverized, and he fell to the ground, blood and flesh splattering everywhere. This guy, martial arts. No, his movements are those of an amateur. He was just careless. We are fighting professionals. We won't lose to a brawler like this. Now that there were 4 of them, they readjusted their swords and faced Jet. Oh, you're not going home yet. Shut up. One was running towards him, and 2 others were closing in from behind it, on both sides. 3 lines of slashing attack ran at him at the same time. However, he managed to avoid them. Arg, Tia, he continued to unleash his sword techniques with skillful swordsmanship, but it all crumbled when he swept his leg. Hua, all 3 were hit directly and fell over. He watched with a disgusted look on his face. Your feet are in danger. A man came attacking from behind, but the boy caught in the blade was already in afterimage. Quote exclamation mark question mark quote. Yes, boom. Jet reappeared and landed an uppercut in retaliation. The man's jaw broke and blood spurted from his head. The man's body spun around and flew off, collapsing with a thud. Of course, there was no way he could survive. Ah, that's strong. Come on, let's do some movie-trained kung fu, just like in this world. He looked ready for battle, like he was in a kung fu movie I'd seen before. You idiot, there's a fine line between a fool and a genius. He quickly steps in and kicks one person away. He braces his kicking leg and moves forward, knocking another person away with his left back fist and another with his right elbow. Goo, why you're a martial artist after all. But that's about it. Achoo. As the man was about to speak, he tackled him with his shoulder. Damn it. Another man swung his sword down at him, but I dodged it and delivered a roundhouse kick to his face. Gwa. From the point of impact, his face spins like a motor in the air. Akow. He kicked him in the face, silencing him completely. What? He approached the man who had let out the noise and unleashed a barrage of kicks. Damn it. Whoa, come on. Jet stepped away for a moment and pounded his chest as if to say, strike here. The man became enraged and put down his sword. You should regret it. Oh yeah. Just as the thrust reached its peak, his spin kick struck the blade, causing the sword to slip out of its owner's hand and stick into a nearby wall with a thunk. Ha, what? Yes, good work. He grabbed him by the face and delivered a knee strike with such force that it broke his neck. Goo. ORAAAHH. The last man was given a ruthless body blow, and the man's eyes rolled back, blood spurting from his mouth, and he collapsed. Quote. I think I played a little too much. He defeated the Empire's soldiers, so that means he's already a proper rebel. Well, your fighting skills are practically amateurish. Laite said so without any hesitation. Yurin was taken aback by this. Was that just a fight between amateurs? No joke, it's bound to be overwhelming. At the very least, she didn't see him as an amateur. Quote. It seems like it. He admitted that his fighting was amateurish. Are you admitting it? That's only natural, since he has no direct experience with martial arts. I kind of noticed it myself, but I ended up winning somehow. Quote. You understand that in this world, brute force doesn't work. This is a good opportunity. You should join me in my training with Yurin. I understand. At last, I will learn the secret behind the strength of Laite and the other martial artists. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Anyway, I headed north again to a small village. Well then, yay. With Yurin's cute shout, the three of them continued on. Chapter 1. Advent of the Hero. Empire on the move. Quote. I see. So you've advanced into the Ramana region. The king of the Arasha Empire spoke while eating the meat. The king of the Arasha Empire, who could be described as a middle-aged man of average build, was completely naked and surrounded by several lovers as he listened to the report. The report came from another martial artist, a top-class ninja. Quote. Also, I have one worrying piece of information. Nothing. The other day, a mysterious boy rebelled against our imperial soldiers. When we tried to eliminate him, we were defeated. What did you say? I was surprised to hear the report. There's no way that a man as strong as a martial artist could ever be born in this world. Most men like that end up becoming prey for female martial artists. A man, don't you have any photos? There is. The photo he pulled out was definitely of Jet mowing down soldiers with his fists. This brat, barely even an adult, annihilated my soldiers. That's impossible, that's truly martial arts. But I've heard that his movements are amateurish. Quote. Judging from the movements in the photo, it is certainly an amateur. A brawler with superhuman strength that is beyond his capabilities, slaughtering people like a wild beast. That's why it's so frightening, but it's also a form of chivalry for times like these. Quote. That's right, men who excel in martial arts are now few and far between. Men like this are no different from wild animals. Quote. The woman also thought, if it's this much, I can win. I don't know about this man, but in martial arts battles, the level of refinement in the martial arts directly determines strength. If that's the case, then this brawling brat, who is nothing more than a thug, is nothing to be taken lightly. Shall I call Wuxia? Yes, tell him that there's a special man in mind. Shuren the Wuxia. Quote. Shran, is that it? Shuren, she's currently wielding her power in the Ramana region. The nations of the Ramana region are certainly powerful, but she alone should be enough. There's no point in even considering this brawler against such a powerful warrior. Okay, like that, yes. The king, having given the orders, continued to enjoy himself with his lover, and as she left the king's chamber, her lover's cries echoed behind her. The Arashan Empire's expedition to the Ramana region was extremely simple. They would march through the region with tens of thousands of soldiers and take control. Anyone who opposed them would be ruthlessly killed. That was the absurd, yet simple, method they followed. Naturally, the surrounding countries resisted. The imperial army. All fight back. Soldiers from the various regions marched out to protect their own countries, and began to defeat the imperial soldiers. Ramana, which was supposed to be a peaceful region, was already a battlefield with fighting raging. Quote. On the battlefield, a dignified red-haired woman stood, carrying a spear-like weapon on her back that was even bigger than her, standing nearly 180 centimeters tall. Here comes Wuxia. Don't attack alone, surround them. The soldiers immediately surrounded her, weapons drawn. You noisy flies, scatter. She surveyed the enemies surrounding her, roared, and drew her weapon. With her drawn spear, the enemy soldiers surrounding her, and even the allied soldiers fighting around her, were cut in half, their upper bodies and heads being torn off. I don't even need to leave this land alone, but by order of the Empire I will sink. She ran across the battlefield brandishing her spear. It was like a whirlwind of death. Swinging her long spear with incredible strength, she took the lives of both friend and foe. Get ready. However, from the blind spot of the spear, a brave soldier comes swinging his sword. You're in the way. While swinging his spear, he landed a palm strike on him, causing the impact to explode in his internal organs, causing him to collapse with blood gushing from his eyes, mouth, and nose. What? It's not surprising at all. If you're surprised by something like this, you have no right to stand before me. If a soldier cries out, he is mercilessly slashed with a spear and his head is chopped off. The whirlwind of death mercilessly took the lives of soldiers, with enough force to blow away the flames of war, bringing an end to the battle. Few. The only ones who survived were himself and a few of his own soldiers. Everyone else was slashed, crushed, and killed. This land would now belong to the Empire. New lands would be consumed by the Empire's ambitions. Shran, you're the same as always. The female ninja appears before her. Linfa, what is it? It doesn't seem like you're celebrating the end of the war. Yeah, the female ninja, called Linfa, conveyed her orders to Shran. Naturally, she also told him about a man named Jet. What, a strong man? I'm worried about you too, but please be careful. A strong man, heard that, veins bulged out on her forehead. A man, can't stand being strong. Her memories come back to her. The days when I was weak and was violated. Men continued to assault me, using my strength as an excuse. Surely, that man must be just like him. Perhaps the atrocities committed by that man are still continuing somewhere. The thought of this made my stomach boil with rage. I'll be there right away. I'll kill him. Oh, you're really motivated. She went. Oh, show me the way. She sheathed her spear on her back and began to walk. No, Jet and Yurin launch a fierce attack on Lite, but she fends them off with overwhelming force. There, fists came from both sides, and I blocked them with my thumb and pinky. What? Picture. This way. The next moment, Righteous quickly moved behind them and struck them both in the back with both elbows. Kaya. The two of them are blown away and fall side by side. The two were camping out on the way to the northern village, and were training in martial arts with Lite. However, among the group, she was a more skilled martial artist than Jet, and the two were constantly at her mercy. Hey, Yurin. Where have you been looking all this time? Jet, you've been looking in the wrong direction for a while now. Get a grip. Are you both okay? As the two men glared at each other, Raite stepped in and delivered a spin kick. Goo. Jet gets kicked away, but Yurin manages to defend himself. Lite approaches her and starts punching her repeatedly. In response, Yurin also punches him repeatedly at high speed. However, he was quickly overwhelmed and was forced to defend himself. His attacks quickly decreased, and only his defensive arms desperately blocked her punches. Sweet. Lite unleashed a heavy Kuzurken, sending Yurin flying. Kaya, even though I blocked it, it was still incredibly powerful. I couldn't help but imagine what it would be like to be hit by a carriage. I now have a general idea of your abilities. That's good. Yurin exhales slowly and relaxes. Jet gets up and comes over, clutching the spot where he was kicked. First of all, in terms of martial arts, I can honestly say that Yulin is superior. When Lite said that, Yurin laughed at Jet. That made him feel annoyed. Well, that's because I went to a proper martial arts school. Jet, you're just another brawler. Your punches are the most boring, they just rely on speed. Are you lying about how you saved the world? I'm not lying. Lite thought for a moment, then continued. Why don't you use that power called divine power? Yes, this is it. He didn't use his divine powers during this training. If he had used his divine powers, he would have easily surpassed me, and yet he was dutifully fighting with only his fists. That power puts too much strain on the body, so I only use it as a last resort in case of emergency. I see, and, he suddenly reached back and unleashed a wave of energy at the trees. It hit directly, causing an explosion that obliterated the tree. Kaya, whoa, the bombing was as if a bomb had been planted in the tree. The girls were shocked and their eyes widened. You can even do things like this. It would be out of place if you were all fighting with your fists and one person was firing off energy waves like this. In reality, I think we could have beaten Southern without using this kind of power. Jet said, shaking his hands. The two women stood there dumbfounded. During this training, I learned something. It's pointless to try and compete with them in martial arts. As Alaya Vijnana had said, their skills in the martial arts category far surpassed ours. If I started training now, it would take months of training to surpass them. So, there was only one way to become stronger. It was not to study martial arts, but to study how to fight with martial artists. The conclusion he came to was a relief to him, because it basically meant he just had to keep fighting as he had always done. In that case, image training is the only option. Jet said, and then, uncharacteristically, sat in meditation. While he was doing this, Yurin and Laite were training in serious martial arts. Quote. First of all, do you know what Gongqi Jutsu is? This is the most basic martial art in this world. Yu Ling nodded his head. Yes, it's the technique of wrapping qi around your fist and using it as a weapon, right? Yes, by doing so, the power of your punches will increase many times over, but that's not all, your defensive abilities will also increase, and you will be able to maintain your physical youth. There was a woman named Shui Mei at the hot springs the other day. She was also a martial artist and was in her late 40s, but thanks to her qi techniques, she looked like she was in her late 20s. Hey, if I could master it, I could apply it in such ways. The thought made me sigh unconsciously. So, try it. Imagine that your power flows and is concentrated in your arms. Yes, first, I try to do it on my own, but it doesn't work. No, that's just putting strain on your arms. Imagine there are circuits running through your body. Jet suddenly said that in the middle of image training. Fart, that's what I imagine. Quote. Following Jet's advice, imagine the circuits in your body. Power flows, through my arm. Something hot flows into the circuit. Imagine it flowing down my arm. Oh, good, it seemed to work. My arm felt hot as if it was on fire, and I could feel the incredible power dwelling within it. But it quickly dissipated. Yes, it seems you were unable to control your ki properly and ended up with excess energy. It happens to anyone at first, but... While Laite was speaking, Yurin was once again gathering energy around her arms. He took a slow, steady breath and calmed his fiery energy. It was small, but it was fulfilling. Quote. He learns powers quickly. I wasn't sure how many days this ki training would take, but it looks like it will be over soon. Quote. Once you get used to it, you should be able to reach that state in an instant. Like flipping a switch. Yes, Jet-san, this power is incredible. She comes with ki wrapped around her arms. Wow, that's amazing. Did she have the knowledge and imagination to handle chi arts so easily? If you were to apply it, you could make your energy explode at the moment of the attack. Hey, I'll try my best. Her training also seemed to be going smoothly.